David was a man of great faith, but David had some points in him or times in him where it wasn't about his faith, but about his emotions, what he was dealing with in his soul. So I say to you, don't let people make you feel like because you're having a moment, because you're in a place of grief, or you're in a place of being cast down or weary, that you don't have faith, because that's not true. David, Psalms 42, David had faith. He had great faith in God. David was a man who truly believed in God. He worshiped God. He loved God. But David had moments where he literally was weeping in his soul. He was bitter. He was hurt. And so here in Psalms 42, when will I come and see the face of God? And I'm jumping down because I'm already in verse 2. My tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me all day long, where is your God? This is the end timing where, I ain't gonna say it's the enemy, but it's the timing where David was really grieved in his humanity, because sometimes we demonize humanity, and God made us emotional beings so that we would love him. And so we are free to feel, free to have emotions, but let us not be led by emotions. And so here David is being real. He's being naked before the Father and letting God know he's been weeping day and night. That has become his food, because he was weeping so. He was so hurt, so weary, so tired of being overran by his enemies. And he goes on to say in verse 4, these things vividly I remember as I pour out my soul, how I used to go along before the great crowd of people and lead them into procession into the house of God like a choir master, because before his singers, timing the steps of the music and the chant of the song, he was joyful to do the things of God. With the voice of joy and thanksgiving, a great crowd kept keeping a festival. Why art thou in despair? He's talking into himself while releasing his heart. Why are you in despair, oh my soul? This is the place where when we're weary, we're grieving, we're depressed, we're hurting, that we have to go back and remind our soul. David goes back and asks a question unto himself. Why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become restless and disturbed within me? Speaking to his own spirit. Now he tells his spirit, you got to get up and do something. Hope in God and wait expectantly for him. For I shall again praise him for the help of his presence. Oh my God. My soul is in despair within me, the burden more than I can bear. Therefore, I will fervently remember you from the land of the Jordan and the peaks of Mount Hermon and from Mount Mizar. Deep calls to deep at the thundering sound of your waterfalls. All your breakers and your waves have rolled over me. Oh, God, I thank you. Yet the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song will be with me, a prayer to the God of my life. I will say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? David feels forgotten in the midst. It feels like things have overtaken him. And he knows he knows God to be God. He has faith that God is still God, but he's speaking into his own spirit and then reminding God where he is. I will say to my God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? We can feel overran, overtaken. We can be grieving. We can be depressed. For me personally, it's been 7 months and I still yet do not have full movement of my arm. And so there are moments when I get down on myself and I've been in therapy for 7 months, twice a week. And I see people come and go. I see them when they start and I see them when they finish. I see people who had shoulder surgery, not exactly the same shoulder surgery. And some may have, who have come and gone, have graduated out, yet I'm 7 months in and I still yet don't have full movement. So there are moments when I feel weary and I have to remind myself, you can't stay here. God is still God, even in the midst. I'm still yet being healed. I have more movement than I had before. So I still have to yet command my spirit to get up. Still have to command myself to keep going So I don't want people to feel like just because we have a moment or we're weary in a moment that we don't have faith, because that's the farthest thing from the truth. I still have faith that God is still God. I still have faith that he's a healer. I still have faith that he's a miracle worker. Even in the midst of that, I know for my personal relationship what God has already done, and he's still yet doing, and there's more to come. So I have to command my spirit, just like David told his spirit, get up and remember who God is. Remember he's the God who delivered. Remember he's the God who's still working miracles. Remember God is the God who delivered him before. And so he asked himself again, why are you in despair, O my soul? Why have you become restless and disquieted within me? Hope in God and wait expectantly. That part right there. Wait expectantly that God is going to do what he said he's going to do. David had to remind himself, remind his inner spirit to still have hope in God, to still have hope and expect that God will do what he said he's going to do. And for I shall yet praise him and help of my countenance and my God. This is David reminding himself to get up and keep praising the Lord. So I'm remind you, no matter what you're going through, no matter the circumstance, God is still God. Keep going. You're having a moment, your tears, your frustration, your not seeing things the way that you expected them to be, it too shall pass. Because God does all things perfect in his time, and he wastes nothing. This experience and this pain for the last 7 months is still in the process of healing. God wastes nothing. I have still yet been able to be still been able to produce what God is calling me to produce. Because had I been fully functional, I may not have sat still long enough to do what he told me to do. So all of it is purposed. It all yet still has purpose, and God wastes nothing. Don't stay in Lodebar. Don't stay in depression. Allow yourself to process your emotions. Process them, yes, but don't stay there. Like David told his soul, get up and hope in the Lord. I admonish you to find hope in God. No matter what's going on around you, God is still God, and he is still good. Many blessings.